Yummy Yama, Mitch Tambo here. You're listening to Ben Murphy. Ben Murphy? Who is Ben Murphy? Anyway, you're listening to him. Let's rock and roll. Yenny on Gully. Brrr, hey!
Welcome to another episode of Ben Murphy is Getting to Know. Today's guest has me filled with absolute excitement and joy. He is knocking down walls and showing the world the incredible First Nations culture of Australia through his music and messages on love and acceptance for all. He's hands down the new voice of our generation, who has had 6 world #1 world music songs and has been top 10 in music charts around the globe. His rendition of Australian classic John Farnham's You're the Voice, sung in the indigenous language of Gamilaroi, has been heard globally and brings chills to all who have heard it, including John Farnham himself. His recent hits, Dreamtime Princess and Love, have been bringing smiles as they blast through stereos everywhere. And his new single, Heal, sets out to do what its title suggests, in a time we could all do with a little more healing. Please welcome my guest today, the extraordinary Mitch Tambo.
Yummy Yama, thanks so much for having me.
Oh, no, thank you for being here. Though I do have to say, you've actually got me in a little bit of trouble.
Why?
I was on my radio show a couple of weeks ago, and I was doing my chat as you do, and then I went to a song and started playing around on my phone, and this song came on in a language that I wasn't familiar with, and I just started dancing around the studio and found out it was your song, and we're only meant to play one song a day. You can't repeat a song. 15 minutes later, I did a sneaky and put it back on. The song Love was just incredible. I had to hear it again. I had to have the listeners hear it again. Bravo, mate. It's absolutely brilliant.
Oh, wow. What can I say? Thanks so much, man. I appreciate that. I didn't get in too much trouble, but Love's good. No, Love's a special song to me. It's an important song for myself, so I'm glad that it resonated with you.
It is one of those songs that, even though I wasn't understanding the Gamilaroi language, I was feeling like I was getting the message and understanding everything that I needed to know. How did that song come about for you?
That song actually came about when I was out bush. I was out on country, and it's sort of like my recount of that experience. We're back out there practicing law, going through ceremony, and pretty much as soon as we left there and I got back to Tamworth, I wrote the lyric. And it basically just depicts that time. So it says, as the cockatoos sing on sunset, the stars light the sky with ancient stories, lost in the dance of the fire, I'm at peace. The whispers of the wind keep calling me home, break my heart open, set my spirit free, break my heart open, set my spirit free with love. So it's that account of being back on country. And, I believe that when we have the opportunity, if we're blessed enough to go back home on country, there's a real healing that takes place if we allow it. And for me, in that particular point in time, I just remember feeling an immense release and just feeling so connected and free in that moment.
That's incredible. I think for me, not understanding the full message of it, I definitely got the feeling of release and just being in the moment. That's certainly what that song means to me. And I have it as my ringtone. It pops up. It's absolutely brilliant. And I was also really impressed. The lyric video, which was released, is in Gamilaroi, which is excellent. Did you have to fight with that to have that release without translation?
Oh, I didn't have to fight. I think it just had to make a definitive decision and be really purposeful with that choice and that decision. And it's very simple. And that is, I want to be a part of the revival and the maintenance of our language, and to be able to maintain that and put that out there. And I think sometimes it's best to just leave English where English is and allow language to have that platform and let language just be and do its thing. And, the thing that I love most about language is, you said it yourself, you couldn't understand it, but you could feel it. And sometimes I think if we overcomplicate with subtitles and, we need to let people know exactly what it says, they miss the medicine.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to leave it and let it do its thing and just let language have the forefront. And, I speak in English fluently, so it's not like it's going to be missed out. You ask me the question and I'll tell you what it means. But for the lyric video, I just want to, celebrate language.
Well, you've had such incredible success performing in Gamilaroi and showcasing Australia's First Nation culture. Do you feel your journey has been a little bit more difficult for fighting through, rightfully so, to perform and represent your culture so openly?
Yeah, I mean, I think it goes without saying it's going to pose its challenges just because it's not the norm. So anything that's not the norm, it's going to, sometimes you're walking on a little bit of a road that's been paved out for you, and other times you're in the trenches digging that path out. I'm blessed that there's been some amazing artists and performers go before me that have, definitely carved out a way. And then other times you're taking the banner or the baton, so to speak, and it's your turn to run on a new path, and you have to dig it out. So it poses challenges, but I'm obviously passionate about it and obviously love what I'm doing, and I'm obviously quite aware of what it poses sometimes, and I'm also aware of the beauty in what I'm doing, So you have your hard days and your rough days, and then other days you receive that phenomenal message from that young person that just fills your cup. You're like, okay, well, this is why I fought today. This is why I'm here. This is why I'm doing what I'm doing, So it's a journey. I think we're all on it. We all have those days. And if we believe in something, well, we got to strap in and gear up and get ready for what's next,
Do you feel that having so much, sort of such a platform for your culture and people and being so influential, does that come with a lot of pressure yourself that you have to, find the balance to both be a role model, but also keep yourself in check and make sure you're okay as well?
Yeah, it's interesting. I feel like for a massive part of my life, signing to Sony and getting a bigger platform, I was really set out on just rocking culture and wanting to be that voice and, celebrate. And I suppose naively, on behalf of my mob. But as soon as I got the greater platform, it was like a big whack in the face. And I realized really quickly that I don't speak on behalf of anyone. Yeah. I don't have the right to speak on the behalf of anyone. I only have the right and opportunity to speak on behalf of myself and my own experience. And if people from my community or the wider community resonate with me, then let's rock and roll. It's a blessing, and I'm pumped that you resonate and you're on my journey. But you know what? Not everyone is for my message, and that includes my own, countrymen or people around the globe. Not everyone's going to resonate with what I say, and I learned that early on. And I realized, that's okay, because not everyone's on the same path, and not everyone has to resonate. Just because you're a black fella doesn't mean you have to agree with Mitch Tambo. It doesn't work that way. So I'm just doing the best I can. And if people resonate with me, then I'm just pumped and honored, and I'm just doing the best I can. And, I always try my best to, I guess, let it be known, that I am still that brother that, grew up swimming in the Pure River, eating hot chips, getting a $1 can of Coke from the pet shop. I am that fella. And I guess, yeah, and I want young people to know that, because I don't want it to ever get where it feels like I'm that far removed, that I am unrelatable, and it doesn't feel like it is obtainable what I've achieved so far, because it is. I grew up with a single mum. We started off in Housing Commission. We went through some things. I've been there myself, you know what I mean? And it's possible. It is possible. And I never want it to just feel like it's all a fairy tale and it's not obtainable. And I wasn't that, because I was. And it's not a bad thing. I feel like I'm not trying to either inspire someone that you have to go out and shoot for singing in front of 80,000 people, because that's what success is. Success could be just getting out of bed today and finding a way to smile. Success could be, finishing school and getting a job packing shelves at IGA. There's nothing wrong with that. Success is definitive to the individual. And I just hope I encourage someone just to at least get out of bed today, look in the mirror and start to like the person they see back in their reflection, and that's a win in itself. So.
Well, I have absolutely no doubt that you're doing that. I mean, your music is just completely inspiring and uplifting. So I'm sure anyone that's having a bad day listens to it, it's just going to pick them right up. And I also think your music has come at a time when people are at home, are feeling a little bit lost, and also forcing people to question the world around them. And it got me thinking that New Zealand seems, as an outsider, to have done an excellent job of incorporating First Nations culture into everyday life, from greetings to schooling to education in the wider community. Do you think Australia will ever reach a place where Aboriginal culture is as respected and understood and taught enough as it should be?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing if I didn't have that belief that we can get there. So I do think we can get there. I just feel like we've got a bit of a way to go. And, we often get compared to New Zealand, like, all the time. I think that's the biggest comparison. And then outside of that would be Canada. But I feel like, New Zealand is so much smaller than us for a start. We're a massive island, and, we're so diverse too. Like, not all of us as blackfellas are the same. Like, you go from the desert and then you go to the East Coast. There's a massive difference in protocol, customs, law, in landscape, in everything, let alone all the different languages we speak and all the rest of it. So I feel like, we're going to get there. It's just going to take a lot longer. And I just feel like we just got to hang in there and band together and get as many allies on board on our journey as possible, so we can do it. But we have to believe, and I feel like, we make up something like 3% of the population. So beyond all of our own complexities and things within each other, we are such a small group. So we need as many allies as possible. We need as many people as possible to jump on board our journey, to understand our history, to understand our story, our complexities, our diversities within our communities. So we can grow bigger in terms of the people that are on board, so we can walk into a better tomorrow. Because it's easy to sort of go, let's just teach Aboriginal culture in every school and let's do this and that and all the other. But then there's the thing of, well, I just traveled 20 kilometers up the road and there's a whole nother mob with a whole nother language, stories, the rest of it. So how can we, I guess, get a template that somewhat works and can stretch and mold, that we can sort of take into each community and try to adapt that and grow it, so each community can have that and can share culture and story and language in schools? Because we all know, in education, there's certain KPIs and there's certain things that have to be embedded in the curriculum. So how can we find that for each community? Well, that's going to take time, and our mob want to spend the time to do that, but we need, I guess, the education system to want to spend time to adapt that. So we can, teach the local language as the first priority in each school. And what a beautiful thing that would be, for a starting point.
And you were saying in that talk then about the importance of allies and things. Is that perhaps where your passion for helping other minority groups like the LGBTQIA plus community and other communities, does that come from your own awareness of, minorities should all be helping minorities and working together to we're the majority if everyone teams up?
Yeah, well, that's true. We're the majority if we all just get together and get it done, aren't we? But yeah, I guess my passion comes, to be an ally for, LGBTQI plus community and for all other communities, just comes from, I suppose, later on in life, coming to a place of, man, we're just all human beings. If we just strip it back and just look at it, we all have a heartbeat. We all have a place in this earth. And our job here is just to love and be the best that we can be while we're on this journey. It's really that simple. And sometimes I think we allow religion and all these other machines to breed a message of divisiveness and not unity and not love, for the sake of dominance. And for the sake of dividing and conquering, where it's not about that. You strip religion back. It's a lot of people say it's all the same creator. It's all the same fundamental principles, and that is really at the core of it, to love and to journey this
respect and support of one another.
Yeah, it's not to point fingers and condemn and to conquer races and to carry out crimes against humanity. It's not about that. So I sort of, when I come to that position, I was like, who am I to sort of look down and, that's not my job, man. Like, I'm here to just love, and to find a way to love myself and to heal my own wounds and, just to journey. And if you can journey with other people and be a part of other people's success and healing and triumphs, then why not do that? And that's where, a lot of people, even for me, will look at me in the colors I wear in the sequence and stuff and immediately go, oh, he must be gay. It's like, what do you like, well, why can't a straight, proud black fella rock sequence and colors and be bright and vibrant and just be a straight dude that's just rocking? Why can't I be the artist that I am and be on the main Mardi Gras float and just pumping out one of my singles? Not because I'm gay, but because I love all my LGBTQI brothers and sisters, and I just want to go and party and celebrate in their community. Do you know what I mean? And hopefully at NAIDOC week, they're all with me.
Exactly right. And I think that's something my community needs to perhaps work on as well, because I know for myself, when I was looking at some images and I saw the sequence and that, and the first thought was, maybe he's part of our community then. And I thought it doesn't matter as well. It should be supporting one another, and anything else is irrelevant. The music's the message, and that's the unity. Nothing else is relevant.
That's it, man. Just let a brother rock some sequence, Joe.
Yeah, go for it. And look, I also this is a little bit weird, but I live not far from some bushland, and I go for my bike ride, and there's a colony of red-tailed black cockatoos. I'll start that again. There's a family of red-tailed black cockatoos that live near here, and you often hear their really distinctive call, but you don't often spot them. They're like a special treat. So I found it amazing that one of your key symbols is the red-tailed cockatoo. Is that because you're also a rare and distinct treat for the ears?
Well, look,
maybe you don't leave as much mess around as they do, but
no. When I first started, I wore the murai, the white cockatoo, and we've got beautiful story around the white cockatoo, and we've also got special stories around the red-tailed black cockatoo. And one of them is we believe that it brought us fire. And it was told to me that you could only wear this feather once you'd been given, you'd gone through some certain pathways, and I was allowed to wear it. And I also resonate with a message that we always have, which is keep the fire burning. And that basically means keep our story alive. Don't let that fire burn out. And that fire is within you. It's in your spirit. So I wear it now to carry all that story and sacredness, but also representative of keeping the fire burning. Because a lot of people are like, I cop heaps for wearing the headdress. So much crap comes through my social media. It's ridiculous. It's full on. Yeah, it's full on. But the thing is that I wear it because it's who I am first and foremost. I'm a cultural man first and foremost. That is who I am. Before anything else, I've always been that traditional performer, storyteller. That's all and who I've been. And when I stepped into the contemporary space, I was never going to forsake who I am. And that's why you have the ochre, that's why you have the headdress and that messaging. And then that's why you have very bright colors and sequence and all of it, because I've been very purposeful. And that is, we're not gangsters. We're not gangsters from South Central. We come from a line of warriors and strong matriarchs, but we also live in a very contemporary, forever changing world. So I wanted to be purposeful and rock both and be all of me. And that is a cultural man, but also a contemporary man that loves fashion, in the hope to inspire others in my own community, but also others around the world to rock who you are. Don't forsake that. If you're Muslim, don't be ashamed to rock your scarf. Like, you do that in all your glory, and you do it respectfully as you need to, but also be free in that. Be who you are. And for me, who I am is a cultural man, but also a brother that's a part of a forever changing contemporary space, and I love fashion. So I've tried to blend the two together and celebrate that as respectfully as possible.
I think you've done an incredible job of that. And I certainly think the more people that, out and proud in whoever their identity is, the more people are going to follow suit, and then we'll start knocking down walls and people will be free to just express themselves any way they want, which is amazing. Now, today, your new single, Heal, comes out, and it also sees you performing in Gamillere. What message is within the song?
Yeah, it's interesting because I feel like the message keeps growing for my own self. So it's interesting what the song has been for me personally, because you write a lyric with an intent, and then you obviously sit with that. And then once you get in the studio and you start working on the concept and the sounds and telling that story, and the producer does their interpretation, it kind of manifests again. And then you sit with it and you play it back 1,000 times, looking to pull it apart and whatnot. And it starts getting into your spirit more, and it's just taking me to different levels. But first and foremost, I wrote the song a while ago when I started to see, our sacred sites just getting blown into a million pieces, forever gone, forever lost. Reflecting on our waterways being so polluted and toxic, and rivers drying up, sacred sites being lost forever, just the desecration and the rape of the land, and just thinking about how the concept, I suppose, of what's been passed on to us and that we always hear about, and that is, the land is mother Earth, but the concept of mother. And here we are, and mother's being raped and bashed and brutalized and absolutely desecrated. But that's our mother, you know what I mean? It's sad, and also, I suppose, the conversation around if mother's sick, there's a flow-on effect, because for us as First Nations people, a lot of us believe in that idea that we're circle people, and that everything's connected and everything has its place. And if you break that circle, then there's a big kink in the chain, and that flow, it changes. So, if we're desecrating and doing all this thing to mother, it truly affects our own healing, and it blocks us from being able to heal to our full capacity in a lot of ways. So I was reflecting on that, and then it made me write this song, which I feel like is this cry out. I was kind of like picturing my own ancestors, like just crying out through the earth. And then this song evolved, just this cry out to heal. And it's basically about calling the thunder and the rain and the lightning to dance and cleanse us and let the river flow again. And that through that flowing, there will be love around the bend. There will be this healing that takes place, and this cry out to just let us heal as one. So it's obviously about healing country, but through that, allowing us to heal, like, us going through grief, trauma, identity issues, the unknown, the pressures of the world, being able to just go and bathe in that river and let all the purity and minerals in that water just heal us and cleanse us and allow us to just get up afresh and fight another day, So it's kind of about that. And I feel like it's just grown and grown, that feeling in it, it says, let the river flow again. I can heal. Love is round the bend, I can feel. And it's like, wow, when you break that down into like grief or just going through, it could be like keyboard warriors, and just allowing that river to flow, that unblockage of your emotions, just to cry and let it out, and just know that around the corner, that corner could be one step, it could be 50 steps away, but it's not far away. There's love, there's freedom.
Yeah,
and you will get
that
through
reset,
it.
Don't you? You need to shed those tears. It's a reset almost.
Yeah. You reset and you can do it, and the song's been that for me, because we all go through things through life. And there's even been times where I've heard it back and I'm like, what was I really writing about? It was my spirit trying to say something else, and it was like a message for me 6 months later. But the song is about that. It's about healing. It's about obviously mother country and the flow-on effects of that. You know, if we look after country, we can truly have access to our necessary places to heal and to connect and to feel love and to love ourselves, and just the flow-on effect. And it's been really hard for me to talk about, not like hard as in emotional, but hard to really say what I want to say, because I feel like when we talk about healing and country and all of these topics, it's so layered and you can just sort of go on and on and on. But the essence of the song is just, it's an absolute cry out for healing for ourselves, to be able to heal as one and to heal country.
Yeah, hopefully now with the song out, that the people start talking and the conversations will start happening, and people will realize all the healing that we can do and we should be doing to, you know, do everything we can to make the world a better place. So I can't wait to have it on the radio nonstop here, as always. But we've just heard a sound, and Mitch Tambo, that means before we let you go, I want to play a game of this or that. You're going to have 1 minute on the clock to answer as many this or that questions as you can. Each question will have a possible 2 choices, but you can only choose one, hence this or that. Mitch Tambo, are you ready?
All right, let's get it.
Here we go. Your time starts now. You're a Sesame Street ambassador. Who is better, Bert or Ernie?
Oh, Bert. Oh, no, Ernie, because I'm like, hey, Bert. Hey,
You're about to be a new dad. Congratulations. What scares you most, sleepless nights or changing nappies?
Sleepless nights.
Pineapple, does it belong on pizza? Yes or no?
Yes.
The emu or the koala?
Dinner one, emu.
If you could fly or be invisible, which would you choose?
Oh, I'm going to say fly.
Should schools teach more on Aboriginal culture?
Yes.
Is Australia getting better, or it needs to try a bit harder?
Well, it's kind of both. We're getting better, but we've got to try harder.
Can we expect to see a live tour from you soon?
Oh, I'm going to say yes, just with hope.
Yes. Summer or winter?
Summer.
A nice cup of tea or a glass of wine?
Cup of tea.
And finally, should everyone jump online and purchase the new single Heal now?
Yes, come on, let's go.
Mitch Tambo's new single Heal is available to purchase and stream now from all your regular providers, as is all his other incredible music, including my current ringtone, Love. Mitch Tambo, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thanks so much for having me. I know I talk a lot, but you ask me questions, I got to answer them, brother. So thanks for having me. Thanks for all your support. And look, to be honest, I hope you get in trouble and play Heal a little more than you should. I'm just going to put it out there.